Okay, Thursday night, 8 o'clock, live on SEN. The Broncos take on the Bunnies at Suncorp Stadium, Brian. The loser is under siege. They are 0-2.
Yeah.
It's a big, big game for both parties. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if we look at the draw for both South Sydney and the Brisbane Broncos, we've gone through the torrid stretch, which is that of the Bunnies. So round 3, the Broncos have got the grand final rematch.
Yep.
And round 3 for South Sydney, they have, what have they got round 3? They've got the
Roosters at Allianz.
So
this game here, Broncos are going to love being back on their home ground, i.e. the width.
Yes.
So the centres for South Sydney, you've got to get on your bike, especially on the left. Or it doesn't matter now. Reece goes both sides.
Yep.
So you have to get going, and your back row are inside you. That's the danger.
Yep.
Because you don't know whether to go, you don't know whether to stay, and when you chase, and Reece, we know what he's like, whooshka. Broncos for me. Broncos for me. Jai Arrow's a huge out.
Yeah, massive out. I'm not settled yet. I'm giving South an almighty chance.
Yep.
The other thing is, Adam Reynolds has been named the halves. There is some concern around his knee. Brendan Piakura, he's been cleared. He only played a few minutes over there in Vegas. He had the concussion. He's set to play. You mentioned Jai Arrow. Jack Whiten's still suspended, so he'll be back next week. Gee, it's a massive game. It's just, for the loser, it is a long run home to the finals. Don't you worry about that. 6 o'clock. Again, you can hear this on SEN. And by the way, for those who like the app, if you're in New Zealand, for example, click on the SEN app and scroll down to SENZ and you catch it all there for the call as well. Friday, 6 p.m. Sharks and the Bulldogs in the Shire. It's a 100th match between the Dogs and the Sharks since Sharkies' inception in 1967. The Sharks have won. And now, this is a stat I don't buy too much into, just because the Bulldogs the last 5 or 6 years haven't been there. And this stat would read true for a lot of the teams they've played. But the Sharks have won 11 of the past 13 games in this fixture.
Yeah. We say that. Every team would be having similar records.
Similar to them.
Connor Tracy is being named on the wing. You think, and I think correctly, I think he'll be maybe in the centres, but I think he might be going to fullback. I think they might get Blake Taff.
Yep.
Replace Blake Taff. Connor Tracy at fullback. And I think the Sherry's coming in.
Playing against who, Brian?
Sharks.
Connor Tracy playing against who, Brian?
Playing against
Sharks,
his old team.
the old team. Yeah, that does add, don't you reckon?
Sherry as well.
Yeah. Do you reckon that adds?
Yeah, of course.
It does.
Well, you've been speared by your club.
Sherry and Connor Tracy will both be playing.
I think they will be.
Yep.
And I think Blakey Taff, unfortunately, might need a couple of weeks in second grade.
Let me throw this at you.
Throw it now. Not no pen.
This is a fun fact. Crap stat me, please, tourist.
Crap stat.
Okay. In the last 12 months, which player has the most try assists in the competition who's not a spine player?
Which player in the last 12 months has okay.
And they're in this game, obviously.
Okay, I'm going to say Connor Tracy.
No. Talakai.
Okay.
Talakai, the last 12 months, has the most try assists in the competition who's not a spine player.
Which is how many?
18. 19. He set one up on the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah.
So 19 in the last 12 months.
The rolling 12 months.
Rolling 12. That's a big number.
That is a big number for a centre.
Yep, big number.
I remember I spoke to Fitzy when Fitzy first got the job, and he said because he did little athletics as a kid, he said, I've never seen a big man move so well.
Talakai.
Yeah. So when they do their speed drills and stuff, he's saying he's like a ballerina on his feet.
Yeah, and apparently he has had a stellar off-season. He's in for a massive year, Talakai.
Okay. Train the house down.
Yep. And I've shared the story before. Him and Remus Smith came through Mascot Jets together as juniors, played together in the Junior Kiwis. They were the centre partnership. Talakai was set to debut for South Sydney. Remus Smith gets a late call-up because Josh Morris gets called up to New South Wales. They both debut on the same weekend, and they both score with their very first touch in the rugby league.
Okay. Do you remember when he had that game of his life? I've never seen 20 minutes of football against poor old Harper. Goodness. That got him into Origin.
Of course it did.
And I think he's playing better now.
He was the best player in the comp for about a month, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. It was actually it was when they just had the hot hand.
Yep.
And that was hard to watch for a Manly supporter.
How do you see this game? I kind of think Sharks comfortably, but How do you read it?
This is a better side. If they go with what we thought,
Yep.
Tracy at fullback, it's a much better side. They would have learned a lot about their attack because they would have watched the video back. You've got to go down that left side. And we said it last week. No, obviously no Fox there, but you're going to have Crichton, Burton, Kickow.
Yep.
Fair
I
income.
think Crichton might have been second for that non-spine try. You see, he's right up there.
So you've got to give him the ball more than 5 times.
Of course you do.
So I expect that left side to be, and we saw glimpses of it. We saw Kickow with that set up that try for Crichton. So
it'll be Crichton versus
I don't think. I think Cronulla will win, but I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking big score.
Okay, all right. Well, that's how we see that one playing out. Game 250 for Dale Finucane. What a career he has had. The Bulldogs have not won in the Shire since 2011. And actually, people think it was Josh Adokar. He played in lower grades for Sharks too, I think you'll find.
Yes. He played for
Friday
South
night.
too, didn't he? Did he play? He's a
Tigers.
South. Yeah, I know he played first grade, but I think he was a South junior.
I didn't know that. Parramatta take on Penrith. And the Panthers have not lost consecutive games to start a season since 2016. Mitch Kenny comes back. Luke Summerton has been dropped. Sony Luke is the one who keeps his spot on the bench. What did you make of that no try, by the way? Were you with Ivan?
He didn't impede. He didn't get obstructed by anyone, but by the law of it, you can't have that guy running through.
Well, that's
the ball goes behind him. You've got to catch it. It's all about catching it inside rather than outside. So,
by the rule,
but let's that's the grey. It's the grey area. I think the Mitch Moses, the groin didn't look good. The groin injury, and it's going to be inclement weather on Friday. Is that what they're saying? Or is that Sunday?
Oh, that's Sunday. But
nothing worse than, and if it's that groin injury, I've had those groin injuries. They're a punish. You can't needle them.
No.
They suck.
Let's have a listen to Mitch Moses on what he had to say about his injury and playing the Panthers.
Mitch, you playing? Yeah, I'll be all right. Just pulled up a little bit sore, but it'll be fine.
You look like you're in a fair bit of pain out there.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of carry-on, to be honest. I think I'll be all right, so it's all right. Just was a bit tight out there.
Relieving yourself for the goal-kicking duties, was that, again, precautionary on your
Yeah,
part?
just looking after the groin. I didn't want anything else to happen to it, so, just more precautionary. That's the one that hurt the most, and, that's the only one that really mattered, I guess. So, new season, like I said, new season, new team, so we've got to expect anything from them. They're coming off a loss as well, so they'll be fired up in front of their home crowd, so it'll be a good challenge for us.
That's the other thing you've got to consider for your point scoring, etc. Without him there, that'll cost you at least one goal, I think.
Gutho kicks pretty good. What's Gutho kicking?
Mitch will kick a goal that Gutho wouldn't have kicked, I reckon.
You're the doyen of the goal kicking.
What
do you think of Crichton? Do you think he can kick?
I think he should kick. Here's what the rat-a-tat-tat had to say about Bryce Cartwright. He's been one of the great comeback stories. Not often you see, Brian, a boom kid who just doesn't quite crack it, turn their career around. Because usually they've relied on things being easy their whole life.
Yeah.
But this bloke here, Cartwright, by geez, he's changed things around.
And I've been banging on about it for this is this second week now. Bryce Cartwright.
Good again.
Yeah. How good was he?
Yeah.
He's their X factor. He can win them the comp.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Hang on a sec. What did you say to Sen?
He can win them the comp.
Daddy, can you go to your butt?
Come on, that's ridiculous.
Really? He is an absolute game changer, that bloke. Absolute game changer.
What?
We saw him do it on the weekend. We saw him do it in the trials. If he continues in this vein of form, anything could happen for Para this year.
Did you drink before you came on the show tonight?
I didn't drink at all.
You didn't? Okay.
He's certainly playing good. We saw last year where he wasn't. We didn't see those offloads. We didn't see those little grubbers he was doing. He was just. Brad Arthur said, "Mate, just be tough."
Yep.
Because that was the knock on him.
Of course.
Sometimes he might go missing in defence, bit of arm grabbing, but last year the confidence he got out of it, and on the weekend we know he's got those skills, which, as Rat said, X factor like.
Can win them the comp.
Yeah, I'm not going that far.
I tell you what, if you're in the Schuster camp, he's your pin-up child, isn't he? Cartwright.
To show,
mate, this is all you need to do. You can do everything that he can do.
Which is very, it's always good to have that in your arsenal, but it's when to bring it out.
Yeah. So there you go. Big statement from the Rat. Raiders take on the West Tigers at GIO Stadium. The Raiders have won.
Sorry, before you go into that, have you got Para in your 8?
No.
Who's your 8, just out of... Interest?
I've got the Knights in the 8.
Knights in the 8.
I've got Penrith running 5th.
Yeah.
I've got Melbourne and Roosters top 4.
Yeah. You got Brisbane in the 8?
Brisbane just 4, but I'm not.
You got the Cows?
No.
Okay, that's
No, I
weird.
haven't got South.
Have you got Manly?
No.
Oh, I got Manly and the Cows.
Yep.
No Knights. No Para. I don't have Souths.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to have South, would you?
No, I know, but I think they might be a team that would go. They're going to go on a run towards the back end of the year when they get their players back.
Can Dragons make the 8?
No.
No.
Where's Kyle? Is Kyle on the line?
He will be soon. Just back to this. So Ricky Stewart's looking for his 250th NRL win as a coach. Only 6 coaches in the history of the game have achieved that milestone. Seb Chris returns from suspension. Tigers recruit Aiden Caesar to come off the bench. His last game in the National Rugby League was a grand final for Canberra. And Lachlan Galvin set to make his NRL debut for the West Tigers in the halves with Jaden Sullivan. I love that. I love everything about this. It's a day game.
You can see the headline if the Tigers win, can't you? Galvanised is in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, galvanised for sure.
Galvanised is somewhere in the sub-edit.
Yes. Yep, I think so. Cowboys are the Knights at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. The Cowboys have not opened with consecutive wins since 2017. Todd Payton has the luxury of picking the same 17 that absolutely destroyed the Dolphins at Suncorp. The Knights have not won in Townsville since 2015. I did not know that. Thomas Jenkins in for Nari Tuala. Kai Pearce-Paul to start on the left edge, and Jaden Brayley is still out of the squad. He's got that hamstring concern. Some bold claims being made after round 1 of the National Rugby League around the Cowboys. Fool's gold, or you're buying them, Brian?
Yeah, no, I had them in. You look at their team. So when we did our 8, I love Tommy Dearden as a player. I reckon the captaincy sort of suits him. He's a sort of a shy kid, but he's a tough kid. And then you got Valdust on that one side, and the back rowers that I've been waxing lyrically ad nauseum about them.
Lukey
and
Finifalaki comes on.
Yeah,
and Nanai, and then you got young Laybutt.
Yeah, he was one out of the box on the weekend.
Drinky's
and the other thing too, it's a huge advantage playing up there for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like teams travelling up there. In the old days, you were just looking forward to going out to Bullwinkles or the Bank.
That's right.
The Bank. Oh, gosh,
what was the other one?
Good.
What was the other one?
Mad Cow.
Mad Cow. Storm and the Warriors at Amy Park. The Storm have won 14 straight. So there's a few little records that have swaying heavily certain teams' way. Do you buy into that, Brian?
I was about to ask you. You're a stat man.
Yeah.
Why do they put the stats up? I reckon it is. There is things that, like those sort of stuff, there's a reason why.
Yeah. I do a little bit, particularly if you're a player. Like sometimes there's a team, like there was teams, I just hated playing the Bulldogs. I just found it very difficult for whatever reason, no matter who was in their team, playing the Bulldogs. And I reckon most teams have got that type of... So for the Warriors, there'd be a lot of teams, like say Tohu Harris, for example.
Yeah. Since
he left Melbourne, he basically hasn't beaten the Storm. It's hard. It is hard. Storm looking for a record 11th straight win at Amy Park. Oh, that's snuck under the radar. They are looking for a record 11th straight win at Amy Park. Still no Munster, no Nelson. Geez, you'd just be relieved, wouldn't you? Imagine when you see the team sheet. Oh, where's Munster? Nah, he's out. Where's Nelson? Oh, phew.
The Munster thing, and we mentioned it yesterday, how he came out and said, I don't even know when I'm going to be back. And Munster's that type of player. There's no ducks and drapes.
No.
Sorry, Gibbo. About him. He said, I don't know. Like he's a truth teller.
So did you say you've had osteopubis?
Yes.
So what does it mean? What is it?
You just got to rest. Because what it is, it's the pulling on the attachment that goes onto your pelvic bone.
So you literally just have to do nothing.
You got to let it heal.
But the other thing is too, like all that sort of work he's done in the off season, he wouldn't even be able to swim, would he?
Yeah, you can swim. Right. They put that thing between your legs.
So you can't kick. You just use your arms.
But you can get on the bike.
Yep.
It's more of the changing of direction. It feels like you've got it's like a hernia. Have you ever had a hernia? Yeah, it's that sort of feeling. It's just, it's there and it's just always aches.
So if it was a grand final this week, would he be playing?
Well, yeah, of course he would.
Yeah, he'd be right to
play.
But
you'd have to inject it. But you've got to be very good to get the injection. Like I got one done. What are you doing?
Oh.
The way I'm pulling my injection.
Yeah.
I did it under CT.
Oh, okay. That's how they found where to put it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you had to get it under CT, so get it in the right spot.
Oh, speaking of that, so I've got, you know how I hurt my back the other day, last week?
Yes.
So it's cartilage.
It was.
But yeah, but every time it feels as though it's healing, and then you do a big sneeze, it's like it blows the cartilage back out again.
But you'll be, where is it? Can I feel it?
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes you can push them back in. Is it there?
It's up here a bit higher. Yeah.
Boss.
Yes,
Oh,
right
boss,
there.
boss,
Yeah,
boss,
yeah,
boss.
yeah,
Can we get that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can push them back in
Yeah.
sometimes.
Okay. Okay, we move on to the Seagulls taking on the Roosters at 4 Pines Park. The Seagulls looking for their first 2-0 start since the grand final winning year. In fact, they were runners-up, weren't they, of 2013. They almost had it, ironically, against the Roosters. Saab out for 6 weeks. Tommy Talau comes on the wing. I don't think that'll be the case, Brian. I think Garrick will go to the wing. What do you think?
Although Garrick was good in the centres last week.
I know, but is Tommy Talau a winger?
No.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Schuster not selected. He'll make his season debut in the New South Wales Cup. And the Roosters, good timing because no Spencer. He's gone for 8 weeks, as we know. Jared Wira-Hargreaves slots straight into the spot vacated by him. Dom Young comes onto the wing to make his club debut. He's a special player, Dom Young, isn't he?
Imagine if you're a kicker. So you get down there and you're Luke Keary or Sammy Walker and you just go, right, that's fifth tackle. Where do I go? Do I go to 6'6" or do I go to 6'5"?
Yeah.
And then inside 6'6" is 6'5" again.
Yes. Joseph. Daniel,
So
Dom.
bang, it's a tap back.
Yep.
Tap back.
Yep.
Gone.
Gone.
Wouldn't that be a luxury if you're a kicker just to go, right, I'm just going to kick it at these blokes?
But if you kick the Dom Young and he is up against any winger in the comp and he does not try to catch it, he just looks to pat it back.
Yeah.
He has to win the battle, doesn't he?
He has to. And no Saab. I know Saab was a biggie.
Yeah.
He's a 6'6".
He's a 6'6".
Oh, it's awesome. Hang on. I've got to do this. Sorry, boys.
Hey, there'll be a bit of a spruik for the winner of that game. This is the Las Vegas Grand Final.
2-2. Boys, hand up here, Fletch. I'm just having a throw at the stumps because I'm up. This is Chris from Wallsend. He's, as we said, he's sitting on his hands.
Yeah.
Warrnambool, race 8, the big kahuna.
Okay.
Do as you please.
What are you really gambling with, the big kahuna? We move on to the Dolphins and the Dragons. This game at KO Stadium. Dolphins without. Oh, gee, these are big outs. No Connolly Lemuelu. We spoke about last week before the round about the ageing roster that they have, the Dolphins. Connolly Lemuelu, he's out. Ray Stone's out with a HIA. Katoa and Avarillo come into the starting side. The Dragons get back Blake Laurie, who had a rib injury. Leilua Luciano, he'll make his first comeback game at the Dragons. Viliame Fafita, did you see him with the Hall of Fame? So Flano has right behind the stadium, which is the best places to park. You have to have played NRL to park your car there.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you're over in the Boondocks.
Yeah.
And so, because he'd made his debut, Flano said, righto, time for the drive of fame. Go get your car. And they all sort of clapped him in.
That's awesome.
So he was now allowed to park in the first grader spot.
That's very good.
Very good. Well, his son is on the other side of this, Kyle Flanagan, Dragons fan. So, look, he seems a man who's on a mission, that's for sure. Titans have the bye, which is not what you want. Foran's expected to be back for the round 3 clash with the Bulldogs, but it's not what you want, Brian, when you've had a big loss marching straight into a bye, is it?
No, because you want to make good, as they say.
Yep.
And you get frustrated. But having the weekend off, that pretty much goes by Friday night.
Yep.
When you're down the pub.
Correct.
And you're having a beer and a steak.
Correct. The run home with Joel and Fletch, thanks to the top.
And we're not
brand.
patting Lundy. Lundy said, you got this, boys.
Toolkit Depot. Become a
patting.
Toolkit Depot trade or club member and get instant savings at toolkitdepot.com.au.